Hey everyone, and welcome. You know that feeling, right? You're scrolling online, you see these amazing picture-perfect restaurant meals, and then reality hits when you look at your grocery budget. I totally get it. But what if I told you that you could whip up those stunning, chef-level dishes for less than a cup of coffee? Seriously. Today, we're going to unlock the secrets to making food that feels expensive without the crazy price tag. So, let's get cooked. Okay, so let's just get right to it. The big question: can you really cook a truly gourmet meal? I'm talking something special, something you'd actually be proud to serve your friends for under $5 a plate. It sounds kind of crazy, I know, but the answer? Oh, it's a definite 100% yes.
Now, to put that $5 goal into perspective, let's look at the numbers. The average meal you cook at home in 2025, it costs about $3.98. So see, we're not talking about some impossible, extreme budgeting challenge here. We're already in the ballpark. The real goal is to take that normal, everyday meal and just elevate it into something extraordinary. And if you zoom out on a monthly basis, that adds up to around $370 per person on groceries. Think about that for a second. That's a decent chunk of change, right? So our mission here isn't to get you to slash your budget to nothing. Nope. It's to completely change the game for every single one of those dollars you're already spending. More flavor, more excitement, same budget. And this is the real secret. This is the whole point. Making amazing food on a budget, it has almost nothing to do with buying fancy truffle oil or some obscure imported cheese. It's all about skill. It's about technique. It's knowing the little tricks that transform super simple, cheap ingredients into something that tastes absolutely spectacular. It's a game of skill, my friends, not a game of spending.
All right, section one. Let's start with the star of the show, the main course. I mean, this is usually where the budget just goes right out the window, right? But it's also where the pros have some seriously cool tricks up their sleeves. They know how to make the cheapest ingredients the most unforgettable part of the meal.
You know, this quote right here, it pretty much flips everything we've been taught about meat on its head. We're all conditioned to think that filet mignon is the ultimate prize, right? But here's the secret that chefs know. Those cheaper, tougher cuts, like a beef chuck, they are packed with flavor. All that connective tissue and collagen, when you cook it the right way, it literally melts into this rich, silky gelatin. It creates a depth of flavor and a fall-off-the-bone texture that a lean little steak could only dream.
So how do you unlock all that amazing flavor? The magic technique is called braising, and trust me, it sounds way fancier than it is. It's so simple. Step 1, you brown your meat in a hot pan to get that beautiful, crispy crust. Step 2, you add some liquid, like broth or maybe a splash of wine. And then, step 3, you just go low and slow. Cover it up, pop it in the oven, and forget about it for a few hours. The oven does literally all the work, and you end up with this ridiculously tender, incredible meal.
Okay, let's switch gears and talk about another protein powerhouse, the humble egg. I mean, seriously, for just a couple of bucks, a carton of eggs is basically a passport to travel the world from your kitchen. You can whip up a spicy, vibrant shakshuka or a perfectly folded, buttery French omelet. You can make a frittata stuffed with whatever veggies you have lying around, or even a delicate, slightly sweet Japanese tamago. We're talking elegant, super satisfying meals all built around one of the cheapest ingredients in the store.
And we absolutely cannot forget about beans. Get this. A bag of dried beans costs, what, maybe $2? And that one bag makes about 6 servings. Do the math. That's just 33 cents per person for your protein. 33 cents. It's insane. And if you season them right and just treat them with a little bit of love, beans become the backbone for unbelievable soups, creamy dips, hearty curries. The possibilities are endless.
Okay, section 2. So we've totally rethought our main courses. Now let's talk about how we actually shop. A few tiny changes to your grocery store game plan can save you a ton of money, and I promise you won't sacrifice a single bit of quality. All right, I'm going to say something that might be a little controversial, but it's time to bust a huge myth. We've been told our entire lives that fresh is always best, right? Well, it's just not true, especially with vegetables. Think about it. Frozen vegetables are picked when they're perfectly ripe and then flash frozen, like within hours. That locks in all the good stuff. That fresh broccoli, on the other hand, it could have been sitting on a truck for a week, losing nutrients the whole time. Plus, and this is a big one, with frozen, there is zero waste. You use every single piece you paid for.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. This is backed by actual science. A study from the University of Georgia found that a bunch of frozen fruits and veggies actually had higher levels of vitamins like vitamin A, C, and folates than the so-called fresh versions. So please, I'm telling you, embrace the freezer aisle. It's cheaper, you'll waste less food, and it can even be better for you. It's a total win-win-win.
Okay, this next one is maybe the single easiest money-saving hack in the entire kitchen. You know those little glass jars of spices? They are a total ripoff. Seriously. If you go over to the bulk bins instead, you can buy exactly what you need, even if it's just a tablespoon, for way, way less. We're talking savings of 40, even 50%. Just keep your old jars and refill them. It's such a small change, but the impact on your wallet is huge. All right, section 3. We've shopped smarter. So now let's head back home and look at what we've already got. Your pantry, it's not just a closet for cans. It's a treasure trove of cheap ingredients just waiting for you to work some magic on them.
Here is a super simple formula that you can use for pretty much anything. I call it the elevation formula. You take any canned good, think tomatoes, beans, whatever, and you add just one fresh thing to it. That's it. A little bit of fresh garlic, a squeeze of lemon juice, a few chopped herbs. That one simple step wakes everything up and makes that canned food taste bright, alive, and totally homemade.
Okay, this next tip will literally give you liquid gold. For free. I'm not kidding. Stop throwing away your veggie scraps. You know, the onion ends, the carrot peels, the celery bottoms. Just toss them in a bag in your freezer. When the bag is full, dump it in a pot, cover it with water, and let it simmer for about 45 minutes. Then you just strain it, and boom! You have the most flavorful vegetable stock that costs you absolutely nothing, and it will make everything you cook taste 1,000,000 times better.
Okay, moving on to our last section, section 4, the zero-cost upgrade. We've talked ingredients, we've talked techniques. Now we're going to talk about the final touch, the one thing that costs $0 but makes your food look like it's worth $100. I'm talking about presentation.
There's an old saying that chefs live by. You eat with your eyes first. And it's so true. You can make the simplest food feel fancy just by how you put it on the plate. Use a white plate. It makes the colors of your food totally pop. Always wipe the rim of the plate clean. Try stocking your food to give it a little height. And a simple garnish, even just a sprinkle of parsley, makes a huge difference. These things take literally seconds, but they completely change how people perceive the food you make.
So let's put it all together. Let's build a meal using everything we've talked about. Imagine this. Tender, braised chicken thighs served over creamy polenta with some beautiful roasted vegetables. Okay, we're using those cheap, flavorful chicken thighs. We're braising them in that homemade stock that cost us nothing. We're using budget-friendly frozen veggies, and we're serving it on polenta, which costs pennies a serving. The grand total per person for this incredible, classy, comforting meal, $3.70. We crushed our $5 goal.
You know, when you really think about it, this isn't just about saving a few bucks here and there. It's about something way bigger. It's about building real skills in the kitchen. Once you know how to braise, how to shop smart, how to build amazing flavor from basically nothing, those are skills you'll have for the rest of your life. They make you a more confident cook, a more creative cook. It's truly empowering.
So where do you go from here? Look, don't feel like you have to do all of this tomorrow. Just pick one thing. Just one challenge for this week. Maybe you'll finally give braising a try. Or maybe the easiest thing is just to start that veggie scrap bag in the freezer. It's all about those small, consistent steps. That's how you build skills that really stick.
So there you have it. A champagne taste does not require a champagne budget. Not at all. It just takes a little know-how. So I'm going to leave you with one final question to chew on. Now that you're armed with all these new secrets, what's the very first gourmet meal that you are going to make? Thanks so much for watching.